I just hit record and it's recording. So right. Let me start streaming now. So go live. Let's see if it works. Okay. The importance. Okay, everything is there. Alright, cool. Okay, all set. Right. All right. I'm back in my old one. Oof. Everything should be fine. All right. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. It really wasn't. Well, it is my fault because I'm the one that's setting everything up. So I apologize. But if you can bear with me, I only started using OBS a couple days ago. So can I move the blame to somebody else? No, it's my fault. Okay, it's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna try and make sure this doesn't happen again. And yeah, we'll just keep going. Mm, we have 40 minutes to discuss the importance of sports. Okay, let's go. Right. The importance of sports. Right. Why are sports important? Why are they? What's the point? Why are they important? Yeah, why are they important actually? Have you ever thought of that? Like, why are sports actually important? Um, because I haven't thought of it much. I don't think of it at all. And don't worry, you're gonna see me do that a lot. I'm gonna pause a lot because I'm really actually thinking. Why are sports important? Like, what do they bring? Let's frame it that way. What do sports bring? Okay, let's. What are the buzzwords when you think of sports? Um, right. Let me see. So competition, right? Entertainment, right? Um, conscious entertainment. Like, what are the essentials? Enjoyment. Well, enjoyment and entertainment are like the same thing. What would be the difference in those two, though? I don't know if there's any difference. All right, so competition, entertainment, enjoyment. These are the things that sports bring. What else? I don't know why. Why are sports important? Because I don't watch sports, right? So what is the thing? Because we're trying to define it here, the importance of sports. I don't need to like something to see how likable something can be. In my opinion, bro, I can understand why sports are so massive. Like with anything. This is not to say, okay, why you. Okay, let me rephrase that. This is not to be like, why is this even a topic? Right? It's just important. Not like things might not be plain. Okay, maybe we'll just say there's a demand, right? And then we can go into why there's a demand. And then that can sort of bring us into the history and everything and how it sort of, I guess, moved. But I'm not using research to do this. I'm just trying to really figure out, based on my opinion, right? My intuition, how or why it's important. And then after that, I'm going to sort of compare that to what is the actual truth, right? Based on the info we can get from online. That's what I do. Okay. So I'm not saying that I don't know much. I'm trying to figure it out. But I'm not just trying to type in information and consume. I'm trying to really think about it first and then compare. And sometimes my answers haven't been that far off. So it does say something about information in general. But anyway, after that side note, right, there's a demand. We can say that, right? It's important because there's a demand. Like with a lot of things that people may not, that you could consider, like that a person could consider not as essential, right? Maybe the demand could just, I guess, make it not necessary, but like just bring it about. So I'll just say demand, right? History as well, right? It could be tied to a particular time or experience, right? So, and it's also entertainment, enjoyment, all of that. Um, Competition for the players. Let's go back. Let's go to the players' point of view. Why would it? Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's exhilarating. It's nice to win. But you can win in a multitude of things. But why sports? It's good for your health. Exercise, right? And I didn't say why is sort of professional sporting events or this. I just said why are sports important, right? So I was looking at it in terms of like people going and watching sports and stuff like that. But I this is ambiguous. This, right? We're not going based on what I was thinking about it. We're going based on what was presented, right? The thing that was presented was what was sports important. Maybe at the time when I presented it, the sort of title, I was like thinking about it in terms of, oh, why do people watch these like games that are played on like on TV, right? But the statement I said was the importance of sports. Now that could be sort of sports holistically. I don't care if it's the one on TV or the one in your back garden. It's sports, right? So when I come into a topic, although the presupposition was based on something different, or the perspective I was looking at it when I thought of the idea or the topic, something different. When I'm taking on the subject, I'm looking at what is written, and not what I was thinking about or how I felt about it at the time. No, so we're gonna take it holistically, and I'm gonna see if I can unravel unravel it within the time constraint that I have. Okay, so just to make that clear, right? Sports at a more fundamental level is exercise, right? So it gives you exercise. But at a more professional level, this exercise is sort of pushed to its highest form or the highest extremes. And then at those extremes, people compete and people enjoy those competitions because at the lowest level, people can understand how difficult it would be to reach that particular position, right? And because it's free for everybody to play sports outside, right? So people can understand the drive to get good at something and to win. And now, when one person has been winning consistently until they get to the pro division, people like to follow that story. And that story is like exacerbated when it's like when a group of people sort of um anchor their victory to a particular location, and then the people in that location that plays the sports, like in their garden, right? They really, and for some, actually, wait, like it's gonna be different, right? How I'm gonna think about it. Sometimes I'm gonna write a lot on the whiteboard. Sometimes I'm just gonna think and just speak. Something I don't know what the flip I'm gonna do, right? So don't come expecting me to just have everything polished. This is not what this is. Nothing is polished. I'm not thinking about. I'm not thinking outside of this. How I'm gonna structure what I'm saying. It's just gonna come out, right? So back to what I was saying. So maybe, uh, people, right, can really see themselves, or they can, I guess, live in the players. What's the word for that? To like experience something through someone else. There's a word I have. It is in the back of my. It's at the tip of my tongue. Vicariously, right? They can sort of experience that vicariously through the players, and like there's a lot of loyalty placed on sort of a person's location or sort of a team. You know what I mean? So let's say you're from LA, you support the Lakers because it's like your home team. Or there could be a particular moment in sort of the history of a sporting team that sort of ties you to that team from experience. Or maybe it's your family. But these sort of kind of like a what would the word be for like this like very tight bond to from a person to a team. I don't know what that's called, but maybe, and this is what I'm saying, maybe it's from sort of the understanding of its difficulty, right? But if we go to the fundamental level, sports is for exercise. That's the main thing. It's for exercise. Now, having said all this, let's expand. Okay, let's expand a little bit. All right, so all right, we have exercise here, which is foundational, right? Entertainment is to do with that, and also to do with competition. The competition is entertained, exercise entertaining, right? And I think I should put as well um, passion, right? Right? Passion, okay? And then history. Let me link history to something else. Okay, so I would say actually the entertainment actually causes the demand, so does enjoyment. And then what does history do? History gives us something like experience. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know. Um, and why did I put passion there? It was just another buzzword I thought about, but why is it there? What does passion mean? It's not hunger, or is it? Passion is like if someone's passionate about something, that means someone really cares, right? To passion is like a high, or would you say the highest form of care? No, passion and care is not like one to one. A passion takes a lot of care about something or desire. I think passion is like care plus desire. I'm just gonna have that there. I don't know right now. So I'll just say care plus desire. Right, so that's passion. So you're passionate about something. What do you want to do? You care about the thing and you desire for an outcome. That's passion, right? Or am I dumb? Hmm. Hmm. The importance of sports. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Let's actually write down all the sports that I know. And this is going to be atrocious, but it's fine. I don't care. Let's just go. Okay, so football. Right? I'm going to just go basketball. Rugby. That's terrible spelling. I just say American football. Um, hurling. I'll say was gonna say Gaelic, but mm, taste to it like a fella. Oh, these two are Irish, by the way. All right, what else? Like track and field, golf, F1, esports. I mean, esports is a different type of exercise, more of a mental exercise, but I don't know about that. What else? Other sports. I don't want to spend too long on this segment, but yeah, it doesn't matter what one of these you, I guess, pick or you're into, or I guess, and then so on. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Doesn't matter what one of these you're into, they should all trace back to this. Why any of them is important should all relate to something here. And now I'm gonna try use these to really bring out a statement as to why it's important in general. Okay. So everybody, not everybody, but the people who like sports wouldn't hate the idea of being the best at their desired sports. Nobody would hate that idea, right? Even me, I don't watch the sport that I like to play. I don't watch it at all. But if you told me, oh, would you want to be the best at this sport that you like to play? I would say yes. You know what I mean? But the way to get there, no. Okay, everybody wants to know who the best is at the sports they like to play. Popular sports, right? The more popular the sport is, the more people want to know this, right? And the more popular the sport is, the more people want to not pay, but the more people want to see who the best is. And when you're good at a sport, it's like you're putting on a show, right? You have the ability to impress somebody, right? I'm gonna actually write that in. So the impressive factor, I'm just gonna say that. What is impressive? And I think the popularity of a sport is tied to how impressive it is, or how impressive of a feat it is that somebody can pull off. You know, maybe, I don't know. We'll just see. Okay, I'm gonna say impressiveness. Right, impressiveness. Hang on. Oh, damn. 1 second. No, 1 second. Right. Okay. Impressiveness. Right. So, if you're impressive at some sport, right, and if the, I guess, average person doesn't mind being the best at the sport that they like, um, and people want to know who the best is, so that brings about a demand to for you to, I guess, try to compete. So the impressiveness factor, right, I think ties into care and demand, right? The fact that everybody's sort of nobody would sort of shun the idea of being the best at the sport, right? And it's impressive to become the best. So people who actually find something in them that's early on that shows that they could genuinely do it, they sort of gain this care or desire. They gain okay. They gain this care and desire to actually prove that they are impressive enough to be the best. Okay? And depending on the sport, you get a high premium paycheck. All right, like it's a very 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 high paycheck. Um, and the paycheck is simply because of the amount of people that are willing to watch you be the best at that sport. If it's like a solo sport, they want to see you be the best. If it's a team sport, they want to see the team be the best. You know, so let's say you're the best, right? And you're sort of trying to enter into a team sport. Then not only do you have to be the best and prove that you're the best, you have to also try to find the best team and sort of help them become the best. So it's the individual and the team as well. So then, when you have a system like this, a system of passion, care, entertainment, competition, exercise, something that's actually healthy, right? These things can progress, right? There becomes this economy around it where the people who are organizing these events, organizing sort of the space to sort of see the competition, see who are gunning for number one, this and this and this, right? And then other things that are not necessarily sports can actually be called sports because it's the same type of endeavor, you know, of trying to outperform the other person, you know. So it's this act of competition that really fuels people to prove that they're the best. Okay? If that makes any sense. Hmm. Okay, give me 1 second. I think that is getting. Wait, can I press here? I think I forgot my keybind. 1 second. Right. Right. Okay. I said something before. All right. So I think I said two things. I said is sort of the competition to be the best and the demand for people to know who the best is. That creates an economy. Um, hmm. That creates an economy. Yeah, it just creates an economy, right? And depending on the capacity, let's say for instance, there is a match being played, one team against the other. Not everybody who wants to know who the best is can sit there and actually see who the best is. So a premium would be can be paid to actually experience it in person, and then a small cut can be paid to experience it in your room or on the TV or whatever the case may be. And that's how it just keeps developing until like inflation happens and the premiums increase dramatically and whatever the case may be, and the more people that are interested in this particular sport, the more the the bigger the cut goes to the player, and the more demand and sort of passion and desire that a player can have, because not just that, they're actually enjoying the competitive nature of trying to be as impressive as possible, but there's also another bit of incentive that, oh, the money is growing and people genuinely want to know more and more, and it creates this massive economy. And the important is actually probably to do more so with the foundation, right? I think if I could pick out of all of this, if I could pick out of all of this, I would say the foundation is the most important. Sort of like exercise, first of all. Exercise. competition, right? Care and desire, right? These three makes it important because when you see your favorite players doing what they do, it actually makes you want to try new stuff as well. Although it's gonna be quite difficult to reach that level, you know, and it sustains itself through different generations because everybody engages in it. When your parents like this team and sees this, they can that's where the history comes into play. They can show you how it works and what you can accomplish, and then it's like the fun side activity, right? That not every family, but the people who care engage in, and then that can give sort of an insight into if you're actually capable of reaching that next level, reaching the sort of highest performers, right? And then when do people really necessarily tap out? When do people stop caring anymore? I think I think that let me go back to the screen. When do people stop caring about sports? Okay, let's go to me. When did I stop caring about sports? Well, firstly, I never really okay, let's frame it differently. When did I stop caring about watching sports? I never really liked watching sports because I thought watching it was boring. I always liked to play it. And I always liked to play very, very well. I always really liked to play very, very well, right? But I would never actually make the team, so it just kept being annoying. Although I would be good, the thing I wasn't disciplined to actually do the less fun thing, right? Let's say it was football. It was football, right? I like kicking the ball, running, kicking the ball some more, passing it, making amazing shots, trying all this, that, and that. But I didn't know how to improve, right? I would do some more skills, do some more tricks, do some more this. But that physical element of actually exercising and conditioning yourself in order for you to have sort of the fuel to play it for a long duration or for you to not go out of breath quickly. That part of it, because it's part of it, I just didn't care for because it wasn't fun, right? It's not fun to exercise. And as a child, you exercise by the game, but it doesn't, you don't grow exponentially if you do that. You have to sort of have this, I guess, consistency with how you work out in order to be better at the sports. I didn't like that externality, so I just never did it and I never progressed. But I didn't ask questions. I wasn't curious. I just wanted to play some sports, you know? And then through that lack of understanding, for me personally, I just never cared anymore, right? I kind of like outgrew the, spending a lot of time in training, going to like Sunday league football and sports like that. Like it just, my interest outgrew that because I just thought it was a waste of time because I'm never gonna be the best. So why am I trying still? You know. So unlike me, right? If I want to reframe sports in this, like, it is so enjoyable to sort of keep watching because there's gonna be another person or somebody that's more impressive. Hasn't everything that could be done already been done? So why are people still watching? I think the reason is history. Your team beat my team 17 times, but I know my team can beat your team 28 times. It's never going to end, right? 1 second. It's never going to end. If your team beat my team 12 times, I'm going to wait until my team beat your team 13 times, and then I'm going to tell you your team sucks. Your team won that game, but it wasn't fair. The referee was on your side. This and this happened. It's history, right? Culture, right? Experiences, enjoyment, shared moments. Like, it's part of life. That's why it's important. It's part of how the world works. It is sort of a pillar of enjoyment and gathering, sportsmanship, and also, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I can hate your team, but I can still understand the grind. You get me? And if this is the sort of this is the I guess professional like view of it, I can hate you for winning me, but I know what it took for you to even beat me. That's why it's so great. That's why, because it doesn't end. It's engraved in society, right? It's just how we function as a society. It's the it's like um what what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for. It's not rivalry, but it's like it's peaceful war. It's exhilarating. You get what I mean? It's like high stakes, right? And enjoyable. You know, I think I'm doing what I did earlier, but just with my voice. I'm just saying the same thing that's here, but I'm just putting more words to it. It's not really making any sentence. So let me see. Let me actually try to formulate a reason why it's important, because I've given myself some bit of ideas. So what is the importance of sports? I think this is probably going to be the hardest one that I've done so far, and this is just like a fun one. This is nothing really all that important. Um, but it's good to know. And this is coming from someone who doesn't watch sports or play sports at the moment. I'll play from time to time, but nothing really like steady. Um, hmm, the importance of sports. All right, let's go. This is gonna be way off here. All right. No, let me go here. Okay. Hmm. Sports are the flip. Sports are core to lived human. To engage in physical. Should I say physical? Yeah, physical. Yeah, this one's actually gonna. Oh, I don't know the importance of sports because I didn't really logically like add up every single point. It was kind of scattered. This was very scattered. So how do I bring them all together? Because this is not good. Sports are core to live humans. That doesn't make sense. Sports are important because sports are important because they are a way to enjoy healthy, friendly competition by providing enjoyment and exercise. I'll just leave it like that for now. Okay. No person would turn down the idea of being the best at their preferred sports. This is me assuming. This being the case, sports allow for a demand to know best is. This demand makes people desire to become the best. Okay, let's just go because this is I'm pulling this out of it, bro. Because this one is genuinely not easy. So sports are important because they are a way to enjoy healthy, friendly competition by providing enjoyment and exercise. Plain, right? No person would turn down the idea of being the best at their preferred sport. Opinion, right? With this being the case, sports allow for demand to know who the best is, right? This demand makes people desire to become the best, right? Okay, now I'll say this. This desire for a certain for a capable few sustains an economy whereby people people pay premium to know who the best is. This desire for a capable few. Wait. For a capable few wait, this demand becomes size. Wait. Turns to passion. Okay, I'm gonna write it like that. Okay, sports are important because they are a way to enjoy healthy, friendly competition by providing enjoyment and exercise. No person would turn down the idea of being the best at their preferred sport. With this being the case, sports allow for a demand to know who the best is. This demand makes people desire to become the best. This desire then turns into passion for a capable few, allowing an economy to develop around the eagerness to watch the best perform. Right? As this um I guess adventure to finding who the best is continues, it sustains itself, creating a never ending loop of memories being formed. Yeah, there's no real way to end this. I think I'll end it there because I can go on and on and on, but I just want to make like a statement. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm happy with this. Okay, I'm happy with this. Sports are important because they're a way to enjoy healthy, friendly competition. All right, this is gonna be my segment for clip. Right. Okay. After finding out all the information, what I can say is this. Right. I don't want to read from here because that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna summarize what I said there, but in my head, and that'll be like my first clip. Okay. The reason sports are important, right, is because of this. So obviously, people play sports to for friendly competition and exercise, right? But then this exercise, I am lost. Yeah, no, I'm lost. But I should do it right. 'Cause I don't want to be reading off of a script. It looks fake if it's a clip. But for the first time, I guess I can just try that. But I'm gonna say this here. I'll come up with the final statement. I would regurgitate that without looking at the statements, like moving forward. Like, and that's what I'm gonna post in the clip. Okay. Then maybe another clip would be me sort of comparing my answer to whatever answer actually comes up, and then giving it a rating. It could be something we're thinking on the spot. But for this, it's gonna be like this. Okay, cool. The importance of sports. Okay, sports are important because they're a way to enjoy healthy, friendly competition by providing enjoyment and exercise. Right. Okay. So no person would turn down the idea of being the best at their preferred sport. Right. Nobody would. I wouldn't personally. Okay. With this being the case, sports allow for a demand to know who the best is. This demand makes people desire to become the best. This desire then turns into passion for a capable few, allowing an economy to develop around the eagerness to watch the best perform. And that, my friends, is the importance of sports. Unfortunately, we don't have time to actually look at the real answer, but we'll get back to it. Everything I do here is going to be on my Discord or on YouTube, and sometime in the future we'll come back to it and really polish everything out. But for now, given an hour to everything that I'm trying to speak about, say, talk, or whatever the case may be. If you like watching it, then come back tomorrow because I'm doing this every single day. Don't worry about the past couple of days. That was just that was a glitch, right? It was AI. So if you sort of like watching me not work, but watching me like think about different subjects randomly, then follow. Okay? And yeah, it's been foreign. Peace.